Hey there, gang. It is time for another comic book unboxing video. As always, I have here a short box of comic books, which I need to grade, but here's the deal. I have no idea what is actually in this box. I'm not the one who put these books in here. I'm just the one who has to deal with them. And so what we are about to see will be as much a surprise to me as it is to you. So if you like comic books, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bobby. Welcome to Shanghalla. My name is Duke, and this is an unboxing video. So please do like, share, subscribe, comment away, do all the groovy things, and do stick around until the end of the video when we will give out the super double extra top secret password, which you need to enter our great subscriber giveaway contest. We've piled up a few, 10, 12, 15 new subscribers here in the last few days, all thanks to Wes at the Thinking Critical channel. So thank you, Wes. Thank you for the shout out. Appreciate that very much. And for those of you who don't know Wes, I urge you to look up the Thinking Critical channel here on YouTube. Every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Wes leads the Comic Book Aficionados panel show, a group of comic book experts. Each one is knowledgeable as the last, and they go over the week's news in comic books. It's a good time. I urge you to check it out. But again, thank you, Wes. I appreciate the shout out. So, what's going on here? Those of you who are regulars, go ahead and skip ahead. You know what I'm about to say. And I guess that's it. Let's just now get right into it. We'll pull out the first stack here and see what is in this box. What will I be working on today? And here we go. DC Comics, Masters of the Universe. Oh, by the way, say hello to Worf, one of my new Mego action figures. That is Worf in his Deep Space Nine uniform. So, hey there, Worf. I'm laughing because I just decided what the code word's going to be. Okay, so Masters of the Universe #1. That looks pretty high grade. That will be a good seller. Doesn't appear we have the full miniseries. The full miniseries would probably bring a premium of sorts, but it is what it is. Machine Man, that is the last issue of that series. That is by Steve Ditko. That should bring $10, but we'll see. We get this book a lot. This is Fantastic Four 286. This was the revival of Jean Grey. It doesn't really do that well. It is a newsstand copy, so that might bring a little bit of a premium, but this one really doesn't do all that well. This one does fantastic. It's got a few ticks here around the top staple, but that, of course, is Tales of the Teen Titans 44, first appearance of Dick Grayson as Nightwing. It's also, I think, the origin of Jericho. Here's an all-time classic, Thor 337, first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. Nice white cover. That should do well. Days of Future Past Part 2. Amazing that was done in just 2 issues. That would never happen today. Days of Future Past done today would be a 40-part, multi-book crossover event into every title in the Marvel Universe with all kinds of ancillary one-shots. And it would cost you a couple $1,000s just to get every book, to get what might not even be a complete story. But here, X-Men 141, 142, the whole thing done in 2 issues, an absolute classic. 130, first appearance of Dazzler. Here's Teen Titans #1, and you'll notice there is no number. I'm just looking to verify that, but no number on that cover. They didn't like to put issue numbers for #1s on the covers back then. I've told this story before. The regulars know this. But back in the era when it was only newsstand distribution, the retailers, the distributors, they didn't like to carry first issues. Untested product. No guarantee it was going to sell. So sometimes publishers would pick up the numbering from, canceling one series and continuing its numbering into something that might have been totally unrelated, which technically was a no-no for the second-class mailing permits for the post office. Or they would just leave the issue numbers off of the first couple of issues. Here's My Greatest Adventure 83. That is an early Doom Patrol appearance. Trying to think off the top of my head, what was the first appearance of the Doom Patrol? Was it 81, 82? So that's either like the second, third, fourth Doom Patrol. Here, this is issue number 82. So maybe this one's the second one. I don't know. I should know which issue was the first one. Of course, you can see here the theme that they were always melting down Robot Man in those days. It's like every other issue. It's, oh no, Robot Man is being melted. Here's a great book, Adventure Comics number 300. That's the beginning of the Legion of Superhero series that would last through Adventure Comics 380 through much of the 60s. As you can see by my flight ring, I am a big fan of the Legion of Superheroes. This I will probably put on eBay, though. I don't know if there's enough interest on Whatnot. Whatnot tends to be folks who they want the high grade stuff, they want the variant cover stuff, they're looking for kind of investment things. You know, run books, older books, lower grade books, all that does better on eBay. You know, it's funny. I don't know off the top of my head what this grade's for, but let's just say this is a good 2.0 for a grade. And again, I don't know off the top of my head what that is, but let's just say it's $100 is what that is worth according to Overstreet or whoever. This would actually maybe on Whatnot would bring like 10 or 12 bucks. You know, not that much. It would do much better on eBay, 50, 60, 70 bucks for sure. But if this was a new book, a new variant cover in 9/8 or whatever, the price guide might tell you it's worth $5 and people will spend 20, 25, 30. Whatnot is just, it's upside down. It's all run by the key collector people. Not run by, but strongly influenced by. It's those types of collectors. And, Lord love a duck, but I don't know about them. Here's a cool book, Avengers number 5, Invasion of the Lava Men. Dun, dun, dun. Also featuring the Hulk. So there you go. That's a pretty cool book, and that should do well. Now that's, Marvels do better on Whatnot. So even though they're in lower grade, maybe some of these Avengers we could move on Whatnot. Although probably not. I'll probably put most of these up on the eBay. Here's a grease pencil 10 there. Don't know what that's all about. If that was 10 cents someone was selling it for, maybe reselling it. Original price 12. Might have gone to a used bookstore with 10 cents. Hard to say. Here's an early appearance of... oh, no, that's not Kang. Is it? I don't know. I'll edit out that so it sounds like I did know. Here's issue 12. That's a nice shape. I don't know why this didn't go to CGC. Unless the colors are awfully nice. I'll have to look and see. Make sure this isn't like a color retouch or something. Oh, trimmed. Trimmed. The boss has already looked at this one. He's determined the book was trimmed. That's why. I guess it does look a little narrow. Although a lot of the, not so much the Marvel books, but early on when Marvel was timely, their books tended to be thinner than the other books on the stands at the time. There's Avengers 14. That's nice. 17. Are all of these trimmed? No, it doesn't say so. Wow, they're in nice shape. I think so. I'll probably do like half and half. I'll put half of these up. And this is nice too as well. This back cover. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the stand there. But usually these are tanned and browned right up. At least the books that I get. The ones that are nice would go to CGC. What I usually get to work on, they're all tanned up. But that's fairly nice. There's number 20 with the Pop Art Productions logo. Only lasted 3 months. Power Man. Different Power Man. Not Luke Cage, as you can tell. These are all looking pretty nice. I'll know better once I get them out of the bags and take a closer look at them. But these are all looking very 665-y. Maybe even 70. Once an Avenger. Now that's Kang, for sure. But I might put some of these on Whatnot. These are a high enough grade. And again, Marvel. DC doesn't do as well on Whatnot at all. This one's tanned up a little bit. These are all nice books. All nice books. I wouldn't kick a single one of these out of my collection. Yeah, for sure. Next stack is some more Silver Age Avengers, which Worf was just bowled over by. Now the trick will be getting him to stand back up. Here's number 31. Feels like there's 2 books in there. Nope, I just grabbed 2 books. Of course, getting these out of the bag to grade them will be key. Never grade a book inside the bag. These look like they might be fairly new bags, and they're really dressing these books up, giving them a shine. Makes it look like they have really nice cover luster, cover gloss still, but they may not. They may not. And what bright colors right here. Again, it almost looks like it's had a color touch, but it certainly looks nice. Certainly looks nice. Nope. I mean, these books almost have a look like they were newly printed on old paper, if that makes any sense to you. I mean, the colors are just so bright, they pop. I don't usually see that. But you really get an idea for how these books might have looked on the stands. You know, we see these books in, good, very good, 2, 3, 4 grades, maybe, the occasional 5 or 6, up into fine. And all the cover gloss is gone and the colors are faded a little bit. And there's usually a lot more wear and spine damage than we see here. And so, because the inks have kind of settled into the paper there and the gloss is all gone, we tend to, I tend to anyway, think of them as kind of bland. But you get an idea through some of these books how they would have really popped on the newsstands, really, really grabbed the attention of any young readers walking by, any potential readers, hooking them, making them lifelong comic book fans. And even the whites on some of these books are nice. They're not soiled, rather, from rubbing or actual soiling, being dragged through the sandbox, or just exposure to air and age. Back to the X-Men 131. That's a classic issue. That'll bring a lot more than the $18 this was apparently believed to be worth at the time when it was put into this bag. This one's got some unfortunate something right here. Almost looked like somebody stepped on it, ground their heel into it. These are classic books. Classics during the whole Dark Phoenix saga. There she is right there, looking wild. That's the issue where she offs an entire planet, and Jim Shooter was like, yeah, she's going to have to pay for that. And Chris Claremont couldn't think of what to do, so he's like, well, fine, we'll just kill her then. And Shooter shocked him, so he went, okay. Next up, looks like we're going to be looking at some X-Men books here for a bit. I caught you that time, you. That wasn't actually Klingon. That was just sounded like a monkey choking on a banana. I tried to fake a little Klingon there for you. I shouldn't have told you. Someone where you might have looked it up or asked me in the comments. What did you say? What did you just say in Klingon? All right. Yes. Well, look at two of them. So there's the regular copy. That's the copy that was out on the newsstands. Here's the copy that went direct to comic book stores. Or potentially this could have been a Whitman. Could have been a Whitman book with a diamond there. Possibly that was a Whitman. And if you don't know what Whitmans are, maybe I should do a video on that topic specifically. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think I really need to comment on all of these books. You've probably seen them before. So it's just kind of neat to know that, oh, look, that's the collection they got in. Actually, this box probably holds, as evidenced here, because I don't think that one person had two of this issue. This box probably holds a couple of different collections that were all melded together as things were directed into their various revenue streams. Here is the first appearance of the new Teen Titans in a cool insert here by Perez and Wolfman. With the first appearance, this would be the first appearance then of Cyborg, Starfire, and Raven. Wolverine, 88. This is supposed to be a big deal for the cover. I actually don't like this cover, and I don't think that looks like Deadpool. I always think that's Spider-Man. I don't know. This one's kind of a cool cover. Kind of cool stuff going on inside, too. Here's a classic. It's only 1988. Fairly new. But then you think, well, 88, holy crap. 98, 08, 18, that's 35 years old. That's actually not exactly new. I think of this as a modern book, but it is. It's 35 years old. It's like when I started collecting in 1975. If you'd given me a book from 1940, kind of the equivalent. Hard to think. Here's another issue 130, 107 with the Imperial Guard. There's number 98. These are nice looking books too, but again, I think these are These bags are dressing them up. There's 2 of them. 99. Big issue 100. Wow. Were these all trimmed? That looks a little thin too to me. There's your first appearance of Gambit, not in Uncanny X-Men 266, but X-Men Annual number 14. First appearance of Jubilee. And moving on again. Nice mix of silver, bronze, and, well, what I call the Chrome Age. The 90s I refer to as the Chrome Age. Actually, the 90s and the 2000s. So here's another one of these Tales of the Toon Time. Blah, 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 blah. Here's another one of these Tales of the Teen Titans 44. So again, I think what's in this box probably landed here sorted from a couple of different collections. We see this book quite a lot, although this one is in nice shape. New Mutants Annual number 2, first U.S. appearance of Psylocke. Spectacular Spider-Man 64, first appearance of Cloak and Dagger. There's the other Wolverine number 1, the first number 1, and it's a newsstand copy. There's a second one. That's nice. West Coast Avengers, first appearance of the White Vision. When WandaVision dropped, we had a bunch of these in the dollar boxes in the store, like 3 or 4 of them, and boy, they got snapped up quick. Really before we even realized, before we knew enough to pull them out of the box. Here's an early appearance of the Punisher. I want to say it's like his 4th appearance, but don't quote me on that. This is the 2nd appearance of Moon Knight. What does this say here? Look in ad page. Look in ad page. This this looks like somebody doing a Ralphie, trying to entice mom or possibly dad for Christmas. Like, I'll just leave this book lying around, and they'll pick it up on the coffee table or whatever, and they'll say, "Ooh, look in ad page." And so they'll flip to the ad page, and the kid has probably filled out the coupon already or circled what it is he wants or something. I would not doubt that at all. Iron Man number 282, and I think that's the first appearance of the War Machine armor. Oh, look at this. Oh, actually, double look at this. This is not just an early appearance of Josie, later of Josie and the Pussycats. She came along first, and then, what is her name? I want to say Charity, but that's not right. I think it does start with a CH, though, but came along later. That looks like Madge. Moose is Madge. Moose isn't going to like... This looks like, not Fred. The guy who was the manager, the roadie for the Pussycats. That's who that looks like. But anyway, this is a French book, French-Canadian Heritage Editions. So that is a French-Canadian version. 25 cents. So this looks like it's got a very Silver Age feel to it, reprinting a Silver Age book maybe, or an early Bronze Age perhaps. But I get a feeling this was probably reprinted a fair degree of time after the original US edition, just by the 25 cents. Here's another one, Archie et ses Copanis. My French is no better than my Klingon. And that's in pretty nice shape. Again, though, the bag here is dressing it up, making it look a lot nicer than it probably is. But that's Betty and Veronica. It says number 3, but this isn't a reprint of the 3rd issue of Betty and Veronica. This is just the 3rd issue of this French-Canadian edition. Format double. Double, blah. French vampire, blah. There's another Josie. Now we're back to regular, boring old American books. This is a direct edition. Was the other one, I don't remember, was the other one we just saw of this a direct, or was it maybe a newsstand? There is, this came from Metro Comics in Santa Barbara. So this came a long way to Maine. This has gone all the way across the country. Daredevil 181. Cap 332. I guess the M, which that's on the bag. I'd say that is an M for mint, maybe. I'll be the judge of that. Thank you very much. I'll decide if that's truly mint or not. This was a fairly big box. If you're new, we refer to these short boxes that are kind of long as schlongs. So now you know the terminology. First appearance of Flag Smasher. Very nice. I think this one, 333, is the first appearance of the John Walker cap. Oh, look at this. Cool. Power Records version. That is the Phoenix. Before Jean Grey became the Phoenix, Marvel had a villain named the Phoenix. I wonder if they changed his name. Oh, no. There it is. So I want to open this one up and see if well, I think it is. If you're not familiar, this is Power Records in the 70s. Produced these reprints of Marvel Comics. And I don't know how many there were. There were probably about 20 of them or so. And it came with, and there it is, a 45 RPM vinyl record that you could put on your record player. How many of you still have a record player? I've got one, but I don't think I've actually used it in 15 years or more. But this was a recording of this story, so you could read the story and in time with the recording, listen along. So that's cool. We ought to, I had to break out that stereo. That would make a good video. We can actually play this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to see if I've got the little spindle here that I need to actually play a 45 RPM, actually see if the dang thing will actually work. Who knows if that record player will actually work. And we'll listen to this in a future video. We'll listen to this old Power record and follow along. That'll be fun. So there's Fantastic Four Annual number 5. This is a classic issue, Captain America 241. Here's Cap 130 with Batroc Zeliper. Speaking of French Canadian, actually I think Batroc is just French. He's regular old French. 132. Waited 20 years to do this. Things get more and more ridiculous the further and further we get from World War II. But it's arguable that both Marvel and DC are, I know that people hate to hear this, but due for universe-wide reboots. This one's tanned up. This is not near mint. There's no way in 100 hells. It wouldn't be near mint even if it was brilliant white, just because I can see a fair number of ticks here in the spine and blunting on the corners. So this guy was not a professional grader. Whoever wrote near mint on there. But that's tanned up. That has lived in a well oxygenated place. Oxygenated? A place with lots of oxygen. Excuse me, I had trouble saying that word. So this one's not in good shape at all. This one is going to get pulled out and go into a multi-book lot. I can't see putting that through as a single. That's just, the grade's too low. Actually, I get a feeling a bunch of these caps that I will stick together in a multi-book lot. Then, because I've got a 121 and a 126. Well, it would probably sell better if I had 121, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26, rather than this kind of randomness. But the thing is, do we have the space to actually do that? Or do we just have to kind of sell it off as we get it? That's Cap 120. Here's the Inhumans number 1. The most uncanny heroes of them all. So Uncanny was used here first on the Inhumans, and then once their title was canceled, it was then that Marvel started putting the word Uncanny on the X-Men title. 114. X-Men 114 was the first to have Uncanny on the cover. Didn't officially become Uncanny X-Men, as you probably know, until 242. There's Spider-Man, guest starring in Cap 138. Falcon in his original green costume, and you'll notice no wings, even when he got the classic red and white. It took him a long time to get the idea that, hey, his name's the Falcon. Maybe we should make it so he can actually fly. That might work. That might make sense. Because just being able to talk to that bird, not that impressive a superpower. Avengers 183, first appearance of the Lady Liberators. First appearance of Valkyrie, although that's the Enchantress in disguise, so you often see, what is it? Defenders 4, listed as the first Valkyrie. We've already seen one of those. Tomb of Dracula. That's a Marvel magazine, I believe. I believe that is a Marvel magazine. Pretty neat. Tales of the Zombie. Is that the first issue? Night of the Walking Dead. So, Kirkman did not invent that phrase. Here's the classic first Sabretooth Wolverine battle, newsstand edition. Nice Alan Davis cover. We're getting close to it. We're getting towards the end here. What kind of treasures will we have as we move on? Here's more from that Wolverine miniseries. The first one, there's issue 2, issue 3, issue 4. I keep Hook and Wharf here. He's kind of after me with a bat laugh if I don't knock it off. That would have been a great accessory to go with Worf. He's got his sash here, but if he'd had a bat laugh, that would have been pretty awesome. War Machine #1. I might pull that out. I don't think that's a $10 book. I don't know. Vigilante. This isn't really a $10 book either. I think it lists for like 12 or 15 in a lot of the price guides, but in a eBay auction that might go for 5, and on a Whatnot auction it'll go for 1, and that's if it's in a 9.8. Looks like we're going to have a whole bunch of Secret Wars here. So there's 1, there's 2, and this one is not particularly high grade. I will probably sell all of these except for 1 in a lot, because none of them look particularly high grade. 4, 5. Oh, this is Secret Wars 2 stuck in there. Huh. There's the real #5, the real Slim Shady. 6, 7. I don't know what this piece of paper is. Just random slip of paper. 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 50. Well, now we have some more. Here is the Secret Wars 2s. Secret War 2 doesn't sell all that well, and again, not high grade at all. What the hell was he even thinking? I don't think he even looked at that book. I mean, this one should go in the dollar box. It's not even worth $1. This is pretty beat up. Pretty beat up. Monster of Frankenstein #1. That's a great issue, that one. There you go. Hey, here's Dazzler #1, in case you don't have 10 already. X Factor 24, first appearance of Archangel. Here's another Wolverine #1. Punisher #1, first issue of the ongoing series. Ooh, look at that. First black suit and a newsstand edition. It's not super high grade. Quite a few ticks here in the spine. Here and here, if you can see that. Got kind of a, inside the bag, it's got kind of maybe a 7.75. No, probably a 7 look to it. But should still do well. Hobgoblin. Let's open this one up. Let's open this one up and see if it's got the tattoos. The tattoos. Zipline, zipline. Or is it 230? No, it's 238 is the tattoos. Sometimes I forget. Yeah, there they are. So somebody has already torn the tattoos out of here. This one is not particularly high grade. And without the tattoos and not being in what I would call especially nice condition, I might use that as kind of an inducement to sort of goose, a lot of kind of low to mid-grade Spider-Man books. All right, we've reached the end of the box, kids. This is our last little stack right here. See if we can get through this without tipping over Worf one last time. Fist of... I don't know why I'm getting #2 a lot. I don't know why he's doing that. We used to get #1 coming through. I haven't seen any #1s lately. I wonder if he's sending all the 1s to CGC and is putting through the 2s. This is the Fist of Khonshu series. This would be the second ongoing series. Oh, no, this was actually... I think this was a limited series. So I don't know. I'll have to check. I'm not sure how well that do. And we're going to close off, I guess, with some Green Lanterns from the classic Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams run. Both now dead. They're both gone. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Oh, look. Here's a 100-page super spectacular Batman, 50 cents. Issue number 238. There's another O'Neil Adams Green Lantern, Green Arrow, 89. Oh, there's Fist of Khonshu #1. That one's looking a lot higher grade than that #2. And here's a Neil Adams. Speaking of Neil Adams, there's a classic Enemy Ace Neil Adams cover, Detective Comics number 404. And the last book here in this box, Avengers number 257, first appearance of Nebula. Looks pretty high grade. That'll be a good Whatnot book. It's a key issue. It's high grade. That's what they like. This is probably more eBay style. I mean, it's probably a 5.5, possibly a 6, but maybe even possibly a 5 once I get this out of the bag. So that might be something I would send to eBay. But that's it. That's everything in that box. So that is what I will be working on for the next, several minutes. A few hours anyway, getting those graded up. But rather we meet next here on the YouTube or somewhere else out on social media. Until then, goodbye, good luck, and please, as we inch Worf over to actually be on screen, please be good to each other.